Thank you very much. I appreciate to be here. Particularly thank you, Okan and East Kurdistan, the Swedish East Kurdistan Association for inviting me to speak here on behalf of the Balochistan Peoples Party and of course as the representative of the Baloch people. I think I was here about 2 months ago. There was another that was chaired by Okan about Iranian situation. And there, I think you mentioned something very important, that still we have the same problem. We all come here and talk about how much we are oppressed in Iran, from all communities, from Baha'is to Baloch, or from Christian to Persian, everybody else around that. But one thing is lack, what is the political platform, how we going to achieve to change the situation. And that is, I think, very important in the current situation. Yesterday, there is a universal political review going on on Iran, because universal political review is something that every 4 years each country is somehow considered and checked how it's working as a human right in the United Nations. And this last year was Iran, and I must have been involved in providing information and been to the Geneva. But yesterday there was a hearing, it's a closed hearing. People like me from NGOs cannot participate, but the countries can participate. As we have the Trump administration, the United States first time didn't spoke against Iran human rights violation yesterday. And it is in a continuation with what they have changed, supporting any kind of human rights activities worldwide, and they freeze this for 3 years. And that's why it makes it very important for Europe, I think, to replace America, and particularly for the left parties in Europe, to see that this is an opportunity. We are seeing an internationalism in a kind of, from Mr. Elon Musk to Trump and to the European right wing. It is time that internationalism comes ahead when it comes to the human right, dignity of people, and what the people should have in the international community. But here I'll stop in that regard and go to the situation in Balochistan. Well, the topic that I want to speak is about murdering Baloch, crime against humanity or inconsequential killing. It is something that we see, for instance, why I say inconsequential killing. Because, for instance, this December, 12 December, 9 Baloch and 1 Kurdish prisoner was executed. Imagine if this had happened somewhere in Tehran. How many radio station, TV station, mainstream media, human rights organization Iranian would have talked about that one. But it was not mentioned, even Iranian human rights news sites. For us, as a Baloch, we see this kind of things. We see a chauvinism and racism within the Iranian society, be it its left, be it its right, be it as human right, be it media activist. And that's why we always talk with anybody that we speak in a European kind of forum. We tell them, whenever you invite somebody to speak, it should be clear that that person is not somehow somebody who is kind of supporting this thing. Because when you are silenced, when people are killed, it means that you say, it's okay that you kill them. When you say, okay, do not kill us, but if you're killing them, it's okay. Because we want to kill them later. If you do it for us, no, that's very good. And it's something we feel from the Iranian opposition. It's good that you kill them, you suppress them. When we come, they are finished. They do not exist. And that's what's happening in Balochistan, because what we see in Balochistan is not only crime against humanity, it's a genocide going against the Baloch people. And genocide does not mean only physically killing people. Genocide means that the structure of the society, you try to somehow to bring it down. You make sure that people do not have jobs. As I was taking here as a stateless, we have about several 100,000 Baloch stateless people, and there are several thousand children who do not have any access to education because they do not have states. They are stateless in Iran. And the Iranian government is trying to change the demography of Balochistan, the extrajudicial killings, and as we said here about the execution about execution in Iran. Since the inception of Islamic Republic in Iran, Baloch have been, although we are 5 to 6% of the Iranian population, but we have been about 20 and 30% of the execution that has happened in Iran is from the Baloch community. This in itself shows that why the regime is doing that one. Because for them, it has been articulated. It's not something that has not been articulated. When you talk about the genocide or a crime against humanity, they say it should be expressed. And it has been expressed by the Iranian authorities during the Pahlavi times and during the Islamic Republic of Iran. That either we have to migrate Baloch from Balochistan, we have to make them weak, and now they say even we have to make sure that the Baloch women do not give birth to the children because their population will increase. And that's mean that they use the religious terms, different things. I myself, when I was in the 9th grade, after that I had to leave the country because I was active politically at that time even. We were in a kind of, because we were students, and then they took us to somewhere that one Basiji has been killed. There was Iranian Hujjatul Islam speaking there, Shia Hujjatul Islam. He said, we are now in the war with Iraq. When the war is finished, we will show you what we can do against you. And exactly they did this thing. When the war was finished, Qasem Soleimani was sent to Balochistan. And Mr. Alawali was, I think, vice president during the Rouhani time. He said we knew that, but when she said, well, it was at least came to the news, that there are villages in Balochistan that all men had been killed. And that was during that time they started mass murdering of the Baloch people. It has been before, but it was increased. And it is unfortunately continuing until today. As I said, there are extrajudicial killings in Balochistan. We have the highest number. We have Kulbaran in Kurdish region, we have Stukhbaran in Baloch region, but unfortunately sometimes you cannot compare this kind of thing. Say, okay, 11 was killed there, 12 was killed there, you say this is not the proper thing. The thing is that how we do it, but this is something that we see from the state, from Iran. Because Iranian state feel that if you kill a Baloch, nobody will talk about that. Even they use us to kill us, to intimidate other national minorities. For instance, in 2009, when there was a demonstration in the what is called the Green Movement, the demonstration started in Balochistan, but they arrested about 700 people. But the demonstration started in Tehran. They executed about 19 Baloch in one day, but didn't come to the news. But the arrests in Tehran were always in the news and the discussion, but 19 Baloch were executed. It did not come to the news. And this is what we think that's why we ask for us. Well, I mean, asking the European community to say to pressurize Iran to stop execution. This is sometimes you have repeated it so many times, nothing is happening because we know the pressure. But the pressure works sometimes. For instance, the strike in Kurdish region showed that it can help sometimes. And we have seen something in the international community. Particularly, it's very important to mention what we have done to the United Nations, to the European Union, or to anybody that's working the human rights. Sometimes mentioning the national minority is very important. To say that, well, national minority at the receiving end of the execution is not enough. To say that the Baloch minority is being killed, because for the regime, if you just say the generally, they say, well, it's treated generally. But they kill us not because we are simply because we belong to this national minority. And it's not only because Sunnis, there are many Baloch Shia also being killed. And the Shia region of the Balochistan, their social fabric is destroyed too, more even than us. Because some part of the Baloch that are Shia, they have been taken to the other provinces like Kerman and Hormuzgan. And they suffer not only from the state's discrimination and suppression, they even suppressed within the provinces. And this is one of the reasons that we say in the future, we all should be together. Some people say, no, in a federation, the border will remain the same. For us, that is again a discrimination. Because we do not want our other Baloch simply to be suppressed by the state and then suppressed by the province too. And this is what's happening in that region. Even if they are Shia, on those regions. So it is the fact is not that we are only being discriminated because Iran is a theocratic government. We were discriminated during the Shah's time, and this is important to say again. If the regime changes, doesn't mean that because the discrimination will disappear because we are Sunni or Shia. The fact is that the Iranian state, the ideology of the Iranian state, even amongst the many of the Iranian majority elite, who all can come to the power most probably next time, they are chauvinistic. And they will again maybe would be worse than Islamic Republic. That's why I think it's very important for the international community to make sure to support groups that are in this context liberal and see the people equal. Liberty is very important in that context, and equality and freedom is important. As was mentioned, the gender equality and the freedom of the religion, and the thing that we, the national minorities in Iran, get the same right as others, both linguistically, culturally, and historically are recognized. Thank you very much.
Tevati Baluchi Channel, a host TV. Goma Hambaved.
Russian TV.